Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today is going to be a quick little demo, kind of get ready with me, showing two new products from the Too Faced Peaches and Cream collection that I picked up. I got the Too Faced Just Peachy Matte eyeshadow palette because y'all know I'm a palette junkie. I had to have this. And then I also got the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation because I am an oily girl and I love my matte foundations. So I wanted to give this one a try. And I do have their Born This Way foundation, and that foundation is okay, but it's not targeted for oily skin like this one is. So this one is supposed to be oil free, 14-hour wear, oil controlling, and photo friendly. So I was all about that life. So in today's video, I'm going to be putting these products on, showing you how they look, and then I'm also going to do like a second part video where I check in and I show you guys if the eyeshadow held up all day on my eyes, because you know mattes typically tend to wear away. And then I'm going to show you guys the foundation and how it looks on my skin after about, I'm gonna say like 7 or 8 hours, just to let you guys know if everything held up nice. And yeah, I did take some snaps on Snapchat with my back facing camera, which I hardly ever do, and this foundation looked so perfect. It made my skin look flawless. Absolutely love it. Well, so far, first impression wise, absolutely love how it went on my skin. So yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing this makeup look using these products and kind of my thoughts as we go along and how I feel about them, and then see the check-in and how these products held up on my face, then just keep on watching. Alright, so getting right into it, I already have my eyeshadow base laid down, and the first shadow I'm going to be taking is going to be Peach Meringue. It's like a buttery bone shade, and I'm going to be using that on this big concealer brush to just go ahead and set that eyeshadow base and eyeshadow primer. By the way, all of the products that I use that aren't shown in this video will be listed in the description box for your convenience, so just go check there for everything else that I used. But I'm just using that color to go ahead and reinforce that eyeshadow base and set that eyeshadow base down so I can go in with my next color, which is going to be Peaches and Cream. This is a nice peachy transition shade, and I thought it was going to be too light for me to use, but as you guys can see, this color is really pigmented and it's showing up really nicely on my skin tone. Like I said, it's a very light peachy shade, but I'm blending that into my crease, and it is a really nice transition color, and I was able to build that color up to the intensity that I wanted, and I thought that it looked really, really nice. So I'm using that on a NYX blending brush, and I'm going to be using this NYX blending brush for basically all of my crease colors, like, and it just blended them out so well. So as you guys can see, this color looks really nice in my crease. And then I'm going to go in with Fresh Picked. It's a little bit deeper and more red toned of a peachy color, but still in the same family. As you guys can see, this color here is just adding a little bit more depth to my crease. It's just building up a little bit more intensity. So I'm just packing that shade onto my crease with that same NYX blending brush and just blending it out. And you guys can actually see that these colors blend out extremely, extremely well. These eyeshadows are super, super soft. They blend out so well, and they don't even have a lot of kick up when you put your brush into them. Like, they're not getting all over the place. There is some kickback, but definitely not a lot. So now I'm going into my next shade, which is going to be Peach Cobbler. This is even more of a reddish warm tone shade, and as you guys can see, I'm placing that on my outer V, and I'm blending it mostly on the outer part of my crease, and then I'm going to slowly begin to sweep it into my crease. This color, I think this is one of my favorite colors in the palette. This one really gives your eye a lot of dimension and depth. It's really warm tone shadow, so I love it. And I'm just blending that in circular motions. You guys, like, this is about the time where I started to realize that I like these eyeshadows a lot more than I like the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my Modern Renaissance palette just like everybody else. But these matte eyeshadows in this palette blend so much better than the matte eyeshadows in that palette. And I'm not saying that those eyeshadows don't blend well, but these Too Faced definitely stepped their game up. They went back to the drawing board with this palette, and they really stepped it up with these eyeshadows, seriously. So now I'm taking my next shade, which is Peach Punch, and I finally switched out my brush. This is a Morphe brush, and I'm using that, and I'm putting it on my outer V as well as into my crease a little bit. This is just to give us a little bit more of a peachy tone, because I feel like all of those shades that I used were more warm, a little bit red tone, a little bit brown. So this Peach Punch color is just really going to give us that peachy punch that I need for this eye look. So yeah, I'm just blending that on my outer V, keeping it definitely on the outer part of the eye, and then just sweeping it, whatever's left on my brush, into my crease. And then I'm going to take Peach Sangria, and I'm taking this on a Coastal Scents blending crease brush, and I'm going to be putting that mostly on the outer third of my eyelid, and then I'm blending it into Peach Punch, but I'm keeping that mostly on the lid. I'm not putting that color into my crease. And like I was saying about the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, these colors are very similar to those colors in the palette, which is why I'm comparing it to that palette. And it's the most hyped up palette on YouTube, like, well, in the beauty industry, period. And I feel like these colors are very, very similar to that palette. But you guys, like, they blend so amazingly well, like amazingly well. So now I'm taking a flat shader brush. This is from Sonia Kashuk, and I'm going to be using just Peachy, Peach Butter, and Peach Meringue, a mix of all three of those, and putting that onto my lid. I only pointed to just Peachy, but I'm using all three of those colors, and I'm applying that to my lid. Now, these colors are very, very light, so you do have to go in a couple of times with these eyeshadows, but that's with any matte like bone shades or really, really light shades that you're using on your lid. You kind of do have to pack them on. So now I'm just taking Peach Butter, and I'm using that as my brow bone highlight, and I love how it still has that sort of peachy tone to it, so it really ties this entire look together and makes everything like sort of monochromatic. So I did go in and do my winged eyeliner, and after doing my winged eyeliner, I decided that I wanted to go in with the two brown shades in the palette, which is Peach Tart and Chocolate Dipped, and I'm using that on this little Anastasia Beverly Hills brush, and I'm applying that to my outer V, just only to my outer V, and then I'm going to blend it out with that Coastal Scents brush. I felt like I needed a little bit more definition to my eyes after applying this dramatic winged eyeliner, so that is why I decided to go in and add those colors. And yeah, I feel like it tied the entire look together. Those colors blended out really nicely, by the way. So I did go ahead and add some false eyelashes, and I prepped my face, and now we're going to go in with the Comfort Matte Foundation. So I got it in the shade Mahogany. That's the same shade I'm in the Born This Way foundation. The packaging is really nice. It's a pump, and it also has a squeeze tube. So I just pumped out 3 pumps of that. That's like standard for what I use for a foundation. And I'm taking my Real Technique sponge, and I'm applying that to my face. A sponge is the best way I find to apply a foundation, especially if it's a foundation you've never used before. Always go in with a sponge first to see how it's going to make the foundation look, and then go in with a brush later on to see like if you want fuller coverage because the sponge does take away a little bit of the product, but I feel like a sponge applies foundations the best. It gives the best look to the skin, a more natural finish, and it just looks like skin. Especially when I do the close-up and I show you guys how the foundation looks after it's all applied to my face. You guys are going to see it just looks like my skin, an extra layer of skin. And here's the close-up. So, I mean, it covered everything I needed to cover. I don't really have that much to cover, but it makes my skin look flawless. It looks just like skin. It's a nice velvet finish, and I really like it. So I did go ahead and finish up the rest of my face. I applied all of my products, and this is what it looks like. I really like how everything turned out. So yeah, I'm going back in with my Just Peachy palette, and I'm going to take all 3 of those shades that I used in my crease, and I'm just putting those on my lower lash line. And then I am taking a mixture of Peach Meringue and Peach Butter, and I'm putting that on my inner corner. Okay guys, so this is the completed look with all of my face products on, and the eyes are completely finished. So it is currently 11:41. Oops. It is currently 11:41, so I'm going to check back in probably in about 7 or 8 hours to show you guys how the eyeshadow looks, if it has worn away or not, because mattes typically tend to wear away a little bit more than shimmer eyeshadows and metallic eyeshadows. I'm going to check back in for that, and of course I'm going to check back in for this foundation and see how this foundation held up on this oily skin in this Georgia heat. Y'all already know. So yeah, I will be checking back in a little bit. I'll see you guys later. Okay, for real, y'all don't know how many times I done tried to do this video. It's ridiculous how many times I've tried to do this video. Okay, so it is now 10:20. Get my baby out of the camera. It's now 10:29 at night. I've had this foundation and this eyeshadow on for the last 11 hours, and this is what it's looking like after wearing it all day. So I'm a little bit dewy with the foundation, even though it's supposed to be more of a mattifying foundation. I feel like it wore pretty well throughout the day, but I did have to touch up at the 5-hour mark but my highlight, my blush, and my contour is still on, it's still visible, so I feel like that's a good thing as far as this foundation go. So for the most part, I do think that even after 11 hours, this foundation looks really nice. My makeup overall in general looks really nice, and I do like it. I will admit that I do like it. I do like the way it looked when I first applied it, and I like the way it looks now. I'm going to give you guys a close-up so you can actually see what my skin looks like. It's not too matte, and then it's not super dewy or super oily or greasy looking. It just actually looks like a more natural finish. So this is what the makeup looks like up close, what the eyeshadow looks like up close after 11 hours of wear. I'm okay with this foundation. I don't think I would try to wear it for 11 hours or anything past 11 hours. I'm okay with anything from 8 and under, so I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I do really like it. I love the way it smells. The color match was really nice. It did not oxidize on me, and I think it matched me pretty well, so I'm a fan. I like this foundation. But this eyeshadow palette though, let's get into this eyeshadow palette. So y'all already know when I said that I think it's better than the Modern Renaissance palette, I was dead ass about that. So I think the mattes in this is better than the mattes in the Modern Renaissance palette, hands down. And I just feel like my eyeshadow looks amazing. It looked amazing when I first applied it, and it looks amazing now. I'm here for it. I'm here for this eyeshadow. Jackie Aina was like the first review that I watched about this eyeshadow palette, and exactly what she said, that's how I feel. Like, I'm a fan of this eyeshadow palette, and I feel like my eyeshadow still looks exactly the same as when I applied it earlier. It's still vibrant, it's still blended, nothing is really fading. I'm really happy with the eyeshadow look. I really like this palette. I think this palette is worth it. I think this palette is the most worth it item out of the whole collection. Like, if you're gonna buy anything, buy the eyeshadow palette. I do really like both of these products. I'm happy that I got both of them. I'm satisfied with both of them. So I will be doing more makeup looks using the eyeshadow palette. If you guys want to see a specific look, then just let me know in the comments down below, and I'll do that for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I will see you all in my next video. Bye.
She's so real. Like, she's so down to earth. Like, I really like her because she don't put on the front. You know, just be like, look, it's been out.
I'm recording. I'm recording this. This going in my video. Alright, be quiet.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. Like, alright. 1, 2, 3, go. 5.
Okay, be quiet.
4, 3, 2, lights, camera. You're on. Cody. Alright, look. For real.